welcome to another edition of the Time Pass podcast. I am your host and host Prateek Shah, and joining me today is ace lawyer Abhishek Swarup. Let me just add him to the podcast and we will kick things off. Just
Hi.
okay, Abhishek is joining. Hey, hi Abhishek,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Thank you for finally taking out time to join the podcast. Happy to have you here.
So,
How are
how
you
are you?
doing?
I'm
Good,
doing
good. I am good.
good.
बढ़िया है, बढ़िया है. So, you tell us about yourself, Abhishek, and then we'll probably take things forward.
Okay. So, I think these are not connected. I'll just go directly. So, I am a lawyer by profession. Maybe you know that. And other than that, I love to travel. I love food. I do blogging as well. So, but professionally, a full-time lawyer.
Right, right. So I think since you've talked about blogging, let's probably start with blogging and then we'll go to the part of being a lawyer.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
how did food blogging start and what has it been like, or how often do you actually blog about it now?
So, actually, I was not much into posting on social media, and uh, we, but I discovered after I got married. Then after 2 3 years, I discovered some food groups, and me and my wife used to go there and just have a good time with in the meetups and all. So then I slowly, started posting about food, and then uh, I used to cook. I mean, I love cooking, so I uh, then started posting about food and all. Even when I used to go out, started clicking pictures. Even my parents got irritated by that. What is this? Why do you keep clicking pictures and all? The food is getting cold, so that started, and then if you must be knowing, there's a blogger called Manish Srivastav. So I started with him. He had a blog called Mystic Foodie Mantra, a very popular blog. So I started writing articles for him. So whenever there was a event launches, reviews, I used to go there, and uh, then I used to write about it, and then the name of that blog changed to Urban Escapades.
Okay.
Yeah. Then so I think it's around 4 or 5 years that I have been doing blogging till right up till COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. So but after COVID, it got reduced a lot, and now even that blog is called only Manish. No, sorry, just Manish. But sometimes I write in it, but other than that, now I only post on social media,
Right, right.
and
Makes
mostly when I travel, I then post about the food and everything about that place.
correct, correct. Nice. Just one small thing. Could you just, uh, I mean, go a little back
Thoda
so that
पीछे?
it'll allow me to add captions later on your left and right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just want, if you cannot hear me, you can fix your earphones if you want to do that. Otherwise, I can hear you clearly. That's all right.
I had fixed my earpods and they're fully charged. I don't know why. अभी कुछ हो गया उन्हें.
So
Just a
no, I
sec.
think it has to do with
Oh,
the
perfect.
Instagram. You're working fine.
Yeah, yeah, perfectly fine.
Yeah, this is better now. Frame wise, it is better now.
Mm.
So since you talked about traveling, now let's go to traveling, and then we'll come to the part of the lawyer. So, what you travel for pleasure? You travel for work? What is it like generally?
Uh, for work, I mostly travel within India, and only once I traveled to Dubai for work because of there was some arbitration going on there. And but otherwise only for just for holiday purpose because uh, even before I got married I traveled to 7 8 countries, and after that also I've traveled to 7 8 countries more. I've
Right.
seen quite a bit of Europe. uh, then I've even been to Russia. Then Malaysia, Singapore. Recently I've been to Vietnam last year, and that
Nice.
was a solo trip.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
interesting. So how did that go? Solo travel in Vietnam, how was that?
that was fantastic. I mean, the because here people still think that it's a very underdeveloped country, and but if you see its history, the war and everything that they have gone through, the way they have come up is so well. I mean, there are no distractions like people have distractions here, like politics and everything. The people are just focused on development, and obviously it shows results.
Hmm. Interesting. So something must have prompted you to take the solo trip. Was it your first solo trip like that outside India, or what? Have you been somewhere before?
Yeah, actually, it was, you can say it was the first solo trip for just traveling purpose. Before that, I've traveled for work, and alone also. So, but yeah, because when I went to Dubai for work, the work was only for 1 or 2 days, but I extended the trip for another 2 3 days so that I could, do desert safari and just sightseeing
Correct,
and all
correct,
those
correct.
things.
That's an
Yeah,
extension of a business trip into a pleasure trip. That's a different scenario. So
yeah.
tell me in particular, uh, what was the joy of traveling by yourself? What were the challenges? And did it get very, tiring or lonely while traveling alone?
Uh, Mm, I think if you are traveling to a destination that is so interesting, so you don't feel that loneliness. Uh, like Vietnam is so vibrant, and every city is so different. Uh, I went to Hanoi, then the Hanoi nightlife is very good. And after that, people just roam around on the streets. You just sit on the pavement, have beer, and beer costs like $50, $60 when you convert it to Indian rupees. So everything is so chilled out, and you interact with people also. And then I went to Halong Bay. That is so nice. And so I think the destination was so good that I didn't feel that kind of loneliness. And about the challenges you were asking, when I travel, I do a lot of research before that. So I read a lot, as much as I can. I just keep reading about it that, uh, in my mind, I'm already traveling there. I know every nook and corner about that place, at least the locality in which I'm staying. I know nook and corner about that locality. So, but still, some challenges were there because I booked a Halong Bay tour from India, but uh, that was, the country had just opened after COVID, and lot of businesses had shut down. Even that business had shut down, but it still was taking booking online.
Wow.
So I booked, then, but I didn't receive any communication from them. So in my mind, I had my doubts that there's something,
Something is
dal mein
wrong.
kuch kala hai, something is wrong. So then I said that okay, I have to look for the office. So then I did all the searching on the internet and finally found an office. Luckily, it was a 1 odd kilometer from my hotel, so I just walked down there. There was a completely new office, and the old office had been closed down. But these people were also, travel agents, and they were few people from that company had started working here. So that person was really helpful. So he said that okay, we'll figure out the finances, but I'm just putting your name in the next day tour which we are doing, and you join that tour you enjoy yourself. Don't worry about the money.
That's nice.
So,
That's nice.
so yeah, so the people are really nice. So in these kind of countries, you don't face much problems if people are nice.
Absolutely. So, is there also any war memorabilia in Vietnam, like from the entire US?
Lot of them, lot of them. In fact, if you go to that Ho Chi Minh City, there are there's a place called Coochie Tunnels. So they had made a tunnel system. That's, I mean, few around 60, 70 kilometers from the city, and they had made a tunnel system which was 3 layers deep, and they only did guerrilla warfare. And they used to come up, they used to shoot a American plane, then they used to again hide. So, and if any American soldier tried to get on the ground, someone used to be alert, and they used to attack from behind, and then again they just hid in their tunnel system. So it was so amazing that the way they have won that war.
Correct.
They have and they defeated such a big
Exactly.
country like US.
And it went on forever. I mean,
Uh,
America tried everything
Yeah,
they
so
could
the
to
their war techniques were just fantastic, and there were some other um, war memorials and all which I couldn't visit because didn't have much time there. So and when I go to a city, prefer you know visiting the markets and all, trying the food. So.
right. Right, of course.
And everybody likes to do their trip in their own way, so that's the thing. So,
Of course, of course, of course. So very interesting actually. So you mentioned about reading a lot before traveling, and I'm sure the reading comes from being a lawyer.
maybe,
So,
but I try to read less because in my profession I have to read so much.
so as a layman, I'm asking, how much does a lawyer need to keep reading, while you are practicing, and why is it so essential for a lawyer to kind of read?
We have to keep reading, we have to update ourselves because law is such a dynamic thing. Every day, there are 50 new laws which come. Old laws are repealed, new laws come, so you need to be updated with them. And it's not necessary that you immediately update yourself, because when you uh, are handling a particular case, then you need to be aware about every development around that, all the latest laws, the case laws. Case law is even more important. The precedents, the judgments which the previous courts have given in on the same subject, they are like very useful. So much more than the laws, you must be aware about the uh, judgments, case laws.
Basically, what you mean to say is that like law is the entire book, so as to say, but each new judgment changes the way the law is interpreted or how you use the law,
Yes,
basically.
because see, ultimate objective is justice. So law, it can only be means to achieve justice. If the law is not up to the mark, it is repealed, it is replaced, it is, a new law comes. But so that keeps changing. But justice is something which has to be constant. So whenever we assist the court, so we have to, argue in a way that the judge feels that we are guiding him towards justice.
So, do you think the ultimate objective of law is justice or is it winning the argument?
For a lawyer, it is tough to answer this, but yes, but I think there's always a possibility to uh, form good arguments from both the sides. So, because I've seen uh, in the most cases, both the sides are very well prepared, and the lawyers cite all the case laws, all the relevant, the statutes, everything, but and the both the sides work really hard. So I think that is why there is a need for the courts, because it cannot be a straight jacket formula can be applied on a particular case.
Correct.
It has to be a combination of many circumstances, and both the sides are very well prepared, and they actually believe that they are fighting for the right
Of
cause. I mean,
course,
both the sides are seen in a
of
lot
course.
of cases.
And I guess it's also about the interpretation of law
And
and
it gets all the more difficult in matrimonial cases
very
because
true.
the husband always thinks the wife is wrong, wife always thinks the husband is wrong, and in reality, both of them are somewhere they are right, somewhere they are wrong in most cases.
So, what is it about the sudden surge in matrimonial cases all across the country?
So that's the thing. Actually, my father is in the profession for more than 50 years now. And he says that in the last 45 years, he had not seen, in the last 5 years, he has seen so many divorce cases, which is more than he has seen in the last 45 years preceding that. So the divorce cases, like the uh, amount of divorce cases has gone really, really up.
And why do you, what, I mean, what is bringing about this dynamic change?
I think evolving society, maybe uh, it's going in the right direction or not, I don't know. But I think people in the previous times used to, put up with bullshit also, which they don't now. So that may be one of the reasons. And secondly, I think the, it's a less of a taboo now to get divorced. Earlier, it used to be, even the women get remarried easily. They don't have much problem these days, at least in urban societies. And
Interesting.
we only look after these cases only urban societies because
And and
we don't know what happens in the rural areas. But I mean they don't. I'm not sure they are having a very good married life because there are many social problems and lot of things happen. But here also they happen, but now they have started coming out. I mean, people have started taking decisions that no, we cannot be a part of this marriage anymore.
but I think it has also led to a lot of fake cases, a lot of, I mean, forget the toxicity on a
Exactly,
personal
exactly,
level. But there are so many fake
exactly.
cases out there by both parties, I mean. And
Both by both the parties, though I won't say because the most of the laws are women centric. You have the Domestic Violence Act. You have the 498A in the IPC for dowry, harassment, and the violence. Then you have the I mean, divorce laws are of course there. Then you have maintenance section 125 of the CRPC. So there are so many laws for the women that there is a lot of chance of misuse and the kind of allegations they make. The husbands don't have much laws in their favor, so how can they misuse?
that's a good point. But do
But
you also think it is,
90% of the cases are fake. I can tell you that.
wow, 90% cases.
Almost 90% because I've even seen in women using that fixed I mean performer. I mean they have a format that you have to put these allegations and the lawyer prepares the petition without going into the actual facts of the case.
But I think by now judges would also be aware that most of these cases are fake cases.
Yes,
And
yes,
they would also have
that
started
that
getting
is.
stricter with the, I mean, both genders. I mean, like, you better not try to take the law for
But
a ride.
But right from the point, a woman files a case against, for example, a criminal case. If she files a case for dowry harassment under 498A, now there's a, sword hanging above the guy. So he knows that, now anytime I can go to the jail. So, these are only, tactics to increase the settlement amount,
I
because
understand.
eventually these cases get settled. So
Settled.
it's ultimately about money. So now these days, not all women, I mean, there are genuine cases as well, but many women use these as tools for harassment so that they can, increase the settlement amount. They like their negotiating power, basically.
Correct. 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 And do you think that somehow this is also leading to men, or I would call them younger men, feeling scared to get married in the first place?
Maybe, but I mean, when they get married, they are so young. I don't think they are even their mind even goes there, because I think that when they are getting married, I'm probably they are very much convinced that she's the right girl for him. So probably they don't think that far.
So in the US and I mean a lot of other places, you have something called a prenup agreement that if things go
Hmm.
south, this is how we will settle our assets or settle our, I don't know,
Right,
things that
right,
we
right.
want together. Is that kind of does that kind of a concept exist in India, or do you see that beginning as a norm in the time to come?
I've seen it beginning, but not as a norm, and I don't see it becoming a norm in the recent future. Reason being that when you uh, you know say to your partner that I want to do a prenup agreement. So in in the very first instance, it raises a that are you doubting me, or is there any lack of trust? Because I think in India it is still but people are not very comfortable to talk about these things, because I've even heard about that HIV test and all. that,
Correct.
that a partner insists about HIV test. But these things, I don't think these will become a norm in the recent future. I can't say for
Sure, sure. I understand.
distant future. I can't say, but yeah.
So, just for understanding's sake, when you talk about there are so many divorce cases, does it mean that it's not just the civil courts, but this goes all the way up to High Court, even Supreme Court sometimes, or do they generally get
Yes,
settled much?
because they start from the lower courts. I mean, the uh, criminal case will first go to the police station, then it will go to the magistrate, and even the divorce case will go to the family court, which is a district level judge. So after that, if someone is not satisfied with the judgment, he can always appeal to the higher court. But these cases start from the lower courts only.
Correct, correct,
Then they can go up to Supreme Court with the
correct.
appeal, then second appeal.
I mean, good in a way that it allows people to restart things or get a new beginning, but I think overall quite sad in the way it is being misused by so many people and it is causing so much anxiety, trouble, and general mental distress to all the
But
parties
when
involved.
the matter reaches the court, so still I'm not sure. But if it reaches the police, I don't think there's any chance of reconciliation after that. You've already made things so ugly that the I doubt that there's a chance of any reconciliation after that.
But I also think that Indian law in particular, the Indian legal system is still more pro marriage versus, let's say, Singapore or America, where they will also grant you divorce I mean, as soon as they can.
Hmm.
In India, there still seems to be a decent enough cooling off period, try and settle things out, try and reconcile or something like that.
So there is a 6 months cooling off period, but if the parties are living for more than 1.5 years separately, then they can apply for waiver th- of that 6 months cooling off period. So they easily get that waiver. I mean, they not easily, 100% they will get that waiver. There's no problem in that.
So, since you're talking about the kind of cases, what is the probably the second most popular kind of cases that come up? Is it property dispute? Is it business corporate dispute? What is it usually?
I mean, property disputes are there, but I think most cases are grievances against the government.
Okay.
So, writ
PIL
petitions,
petition. Okay.
yeah, writ petitions, PILs. PILs are still not that common. Writ petitions are much more common. Like, uh, there's an order the, from the authorities that you have to do this thing in your house, or you have to uh, hand over your property to the government, all those things. So you're not satisfied with the order, then you'll approach the higher authority. If that
Achha.
also doesn't give it in your favor, then you approach the high court. So because everything is handled by the government, so the equal number of grievances which arise out of those.
Naturally. That's good. Interesting to know rather. And like you started practicing how many years ago now? I mean, what
I started practicing in 2009, so it's about
long,
14
long time.
years.
Uh, while it is too large a comment to make, but generally, do you think that the legal system by itself keeps trying to
Mhm.
get better, or do you see? I mean, forget politics for a moment. I'm not trying to say that which
Mhm.
party is influencing what kind of laws or how are they influencing the legal system in general. I'm just saying that do you see us progressing as a nation when it comes to legality? Because there has been so much mistrust in the way cases are
Mhm.
processed or the amount of time it takes to actually process cases.
Mhm.
Where are we generally going in that direction?
Uh, See, as far as if you ask me that whether the judges are working hard, I would say yes, because even in Supreme Court, I see them disposing of 60 to 70 cases a day. Sing, Single judge. So, and in the night, he has to prepare those cases. So, so if you see the workload, I will say they are working very hard. Probably there's a need to increase the number of judges, but I don't think the courts are working in a way that there is a delay. At least High Court and Supreme Court. Yes, certainly in the lower courts, तो डेट पे डेट मिलती जाएगी आपको. That that is a norm. I mean, the court cannot refuse a date because otherwise the other party will challenge that order. That order, if it is passed in absence of one party, if one party is not prepared and the order is passed, then he will challenge. Then it will again come back. Then it will take more time. So the courts are lenient that way in the lower courts.
What?
So they easily give a date.
Next date. So
So
that's why they say you keep
next
getting a new
date.
date.
So that yeah, in that a lot of time gets wasted. I think most of the years get wasted in that. There's
That's
some kind of cases get which get resolved uh, soon, but there are some category of cases like property matters and all those things. So those take years and years.
and I think
But
I've also
hmm.
I've,
Please.
I've also come to realize that a lot of cases, any kind of cases, are
Hmm.
essentially just filed to settle the matter outside the court. But just to threaten the
Hmm.
other party or just to make them feel like, we are serious about getting this done, you file a case.
But that happens initially, but after that the other party's lawyer also convinces them that no, fight the
Fight the
case.
case.
You will not have to settle the matter. So the other party does not succumb to that, pressure, and it starts fighting the case. Then it goes on for years and years.
Correct, correct, correct. I mean, I'm sure. So, in your case, it could have also been influenced by your father since he was practicing
Hmm.
lawyer. You also probably would have decided, okay, this is a nice profession to take up. For people who come with a non-legal background in the family, what can prompt them, or what is a skill set or a trait they should have to want to become a lawyer?
Prompt, see, this
Why should
legal field is
why
such a
should
big
somebody,
field.
like, if I'm in class 10th or 12th, what should make me want to take up law as a profession versus engineering versus medical versus, I don't know, BCom or something?
Some people are attracted towards the whole litigation thing, like, I will fight a case in the court. It gives them another kind of high. So, some people are attracted by that. And some people just want to go purely into corporate things. And
Right.
and that is mostly the desk job. You don't get to see the courts. And even if you go into litigation, then also for the first few years, I mean, I don't think you will get to see the court much unless you choose to work with some very small firm or some independent lawyer. Then you can see the courts. Otherwise, if you join a big firm, so first few, I mean, 2 3 years at least, it will be spent on desk, I believe.
Got
But
it.
for yeah, but the qualities which mm, I think you should be able to communicate very well, because even a single full stop comma makes a difference in law. So you need to uh, have a thorough practice in the legal language, because you need to understand the statutes, the bare acts, if you say, because that is understanding the legal language is very important. So so that is why a command over English language is very important. I've seen people coming from small towns who have to struggle with English. So they, because they have to struggle with basic English, so this is like a much uh,
Advanced level of.
complicated kind of English, because
It's like a
the
coding
intricacies,
language.
because it's a very subtle intricacies, and very uh, you have to go into a lot of detail. Each why there is a comma, there is a reason why there is a comma between two words. So that is
Wow.
the thing. Every
Interesting.
word is very carefully selected and placed in a act when the law is written, when any particular act is written. So
Right.
every word has a significance, every comma has a significance, every you know full stop, everything. So
So, you practice in the Supreme Court, if I'm not mistaken?
yes, my chamber is also in the Supreme Court, and I basically I practice in Supreme Court and High Court, and I do arbitrations. But other than that, I also go to consumer courts, National Consumer Commission, and then the Company Law Tribunal, all those things.
So,
Yeah.
from a layman's point of view, how big is the difference in a case in a high court and a case in a Supreme Court? How fast, how different is the process, or how different is it?
In High Court, you may still get a chance to argue for 5 10 minutes, but in Supreme Court, you'll get a chance to argue for just 30 seconds. If you're able to pinpoint and say the right thing in that 30 seconds, then probably you stand a chance. So, so here you need to be very precise and very, brevity is very important. So, uh, uh, because they have to do 60, 70 cases in a day. Sometimes a senior advocate comes like, Kapil Sibal or someone, so then they may hear for 30 minutes also. But in all other cases, I mean, if some cases of national importance or very important case, then,
Got it.
but otherwise, 30 seconds to 1 minute they will give per case because they are also very well prepared. They know what to ask. They know the entire history of the case because all the cases that come to Supreme Court, they come from some high court or probably some tribunal of national level, like
Right.
the National Consumer Commission or somewhere. So it is the last court, and it has passed through all the stages and all the courts. So they just read the last judgment. That I believe that we just read the last judgment and see if there is any error in that or not. If there is no error in that, then they won't even interfere. That is why 95% of the petitions filed in Supreme Court are dismissed. Only 5% are allowed.
Oh, they dismissed altogether.
Yeah, dismissed altogether.
Oh. So regardless of whatever the High Court has said, not everybody gets a chance to present their case in the Supreme Court.
Or to satisfy the judge that judge is because judge will give you 30 seconds if he has a particular query. If you're not able to answer that, then also, and
So therefore,
sometimes, you know, uh,
I lost you there.
pre-decided mind. Yeah, I'm saying that in many cases the judges come with a pre-decided mind. They have already made up their mind about that case. So if in that 30 seconds you're able to convince them against their, what is going on in their mind, that is a challenge.
Wow, that's quite interesting to know. So therefore, the legal team has to be so well prepared that any
Yeah,
question comes to you and you should be able to kind of answer as quickly.
yeah. But actually, after a few years of experience, you know that what is judge
Sure.
going to ask.
It's like a strict
Because
viva.
you know that this particular point is involved, you know that. So you have to be prepared. Everything around it, you should be knowing it.
Oh, very interesting. Didn't know that this is all the time you get
Mhm.
in the Supreme
Mhm.
Court. And it also costs a lot, I believe, to file a case in the Supreme Court compared to a high court or a lower court.
Cost, I mean, if you see lawyers' fees, then yeah, of course,
So like just basic
the
cost
cost.
of filing the case and stuff.
No, that is not much. That is not
Okay.
much.
And so legal profession is also a highly paid profession. I mean, depending on, of course, where you are in the matter.
Mhm.
Is that because the amount of money involved in so many legal matters is so much that people are like, might as well pay the lawyer X amount, but if I can recover Y amount from it, then why not?
Actually, I would say that uh, there's so much of difference in the quality of lawyers that the whole fee structure is governed by that. So, so for the same case, you can get a lawyer who will charge 5,000 rupees per hearing. For the same case, you can find a lawyer who will charge you like at 1 crore per hearing. If we go by Ram Jethmalani, he used to charge in crores. So,
Like you
so
really mean to
there's a
say,
lot of difference. So there's no fixed rate or something like that. Every lawyer will have a different fees, and that is, either in law. See, it's just like any other industry. Like marketing का भी game होता है. So some lawyers are not that good, but they market themselves in such a way that they can command higher fees. Demand higher fees, not command. And कुछ lawyers हैं जो, of course, through their hard work, they have reached such a level. Because lawyers are not allowed to advertise also. So
Correct. Correct.
just like CA, so lawyers cannot advertise themselves, so they have many other means to market themselves. They keep organizing conferences and also people think that this lawyer has so much money, he's organized such a big conference, so he must be a very good lawyer, but that is not the case. I will not name those people, but
TV appearances, media bites, general
yeah,
political social circle. I mean,
yeah.
lot of lawyers want to join politics.
If you're in the right circles, you know, if you can arrange to get into the, some TV show and, you know, अर्नब के शो में तो बैठ ही जाते थे lawyers. You
Correct.
see.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I think people know lawyers became popular because of them appearing on TV shows.
Hmm.
Otherwise, barring a law minister, nobody knew any other lawyers as such. I mean, the common.
Of course. The only people still know only 4 5
Correct.
names. People know Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Kapil Sibal, Salman Khushi, uh, this Harish Salve, all those names, Ram Jethmalani. But other than that, you'll ask people, they won't be knowing.
Correct. 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 Or like pick up a famous case, or win a famous case, or
Hmm.
stand against us. I mean, whatever. I kind of get the point.
Hmm.
So legal is also about marketing as
Even
well.
Solicitor General of India, not many
Yeah,
people would be knowing who is the
yeah, I
Solicitor
do
General of
agree.
India.
I don't think even I know I know what you're saying. Right.
Hmm.
That's interesting. So lawyers are like celebrities also. I mean, lawyers want to become celebrities, so then they become
Some.
prominent enough and stuff like that. Interesting, interesting, very interesting. So does the legal profession give you enough time to just pass time and relax and chill and enjoy, or is it just
At
work?
least, yeah, I have flexibility on the days when I don't have a case. But other than that, when you have a case, then you have to be fully prepared. These days, adjournments are also getting tougher. You don't easily get an adjournment now.
Okay,
Earlier,
so
it used to be very
you have to
easy.
go prepared every time. I mean,
Every time you have to go prepared, there's a possibility that other side may ask for adjournment on some or the other ground. But yeah,
I get it. So basically, the process is getting faster. People want to wrap up cases faster and not keep adjourning them or not keep giving newer dates.
yeah, yeah. Even in lower courts, I've seen a trend that now the judges are not very willing to give an adjournment.
And
Earlier,
is that
it used to
more
be
of a
like,
city thing? Is it
I,
more of a
yeah,
city
because
thing or
I've,
even
yeah, mostly in Delhi, because I've been to, this Noida court also in the Gautam Buddha Nagar court. There you can easily get adjournment, but in Delhi, the judges have gone really strict,
so even Delhi
even at
Noida
district
makes a
level.
difference?
Lot of that's UP, that's another world altogether.
And so every lower court will be governed by that state's high court or that state's, I mean,
Uh, as far as maintenance goes, you can see the difference. Delhi courts are, even if you go to Saket Court, it's like a five-star hotel. Yeah, it's so, it's so well made. But if you see the High Court's new wing, the newest wing in the High Court, that's like even better than a five-star hotel. There, uh, the greenery inside, fountains, everything, amazing. But if you go to Ghaziabad court, say, or Noida court, you'll see the difference. Like they have broken chairs. Even inside the court, there's no AC. Even the judge sits. Sometimes even the fans don't work. A dog may walk inside the court.
oh, that's quite fascinating to know, honestly. Great, great, great. So I think with all that and with all those discussions, we actually chatted for a good 40-45 minutes already.
I think so, yeah.
Just time flies like that. So, other than
Yeah.
this, any other hobbies, any other thing you want to talk about, you want to share about yourself, or something like that on your mind?
Other than that, I've and I've already, I think, shared that I love cooking. Even today, I just cooked pasta before, uh, sitting for this session. And yeah, I love cooking. I love exploring food. So my basic purpose for my travel is also many times food,
Food.
to try good food. I traveled to Turkey just because of the food, because I wanted to try so many things there. Even Vietnam, I went for food. And and other than that, I love theater also. I love going to theater. अभी थोड़ा सा कम हो गया, but I used to go regularly. I've done a lot of theater during my college time. So
Acha,
mm,
that's where did you study law? I mean, was it what, somewhere around Delhi or what?
it was a Lloyd Law College. That's in Greater Noida.
Okay, 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 okay. Nice, nice, nice.
Mm.
That's nice. So wonderful, Abhishek. I think this was a lovely chat. I learned a lot,
Yeah.
honestly, about how things work, what kind of cases are popular, and things that are changing around us. I hope you also had a fun time chatting on the Time Pass podcast.
Thank you so much. So this is a really good initiative that you've taken.
Thank
And
you.
I know that after seeing your activity in the social media for a long time, I know that you will be able to do this really well.
Thank you.
तो प्रतीक शाह से बात करने के लिए हम प्रतीक्षा कर रहे थे.
That's nice. That's nice. And I think it's a fun way to just know about so many people and what they are
Yeah.
up to and, learn something new every other day. So, yeah, that's my personal selfish take from all of it. Great.
नहीं, definitely वो तो है ही. Okay then.
Okay,
Thank you so
then.
much.
Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much. Tata. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.